Alright, so you guys know that I love Cora Riley. You know that I'm all about the Mafia life. I've read so many Mafia romances that it's actually a joke at this point. Months and months ago, we found out that Cora was going to be releasing Fragile Longing, which is a Mafia standalone about a girl that has an arranged marriage with a underboss. I was planning on doing a reading vlog, but your bitch just couldn't hold off. I've been looking forward to this book for fucking months. I have been waiting for this book for so fucking long. You have no idea. I love Cora and her like whole Mafia thing that she's created. It's so addictive. It's so amazing. Anyway, I knew about these characters because I read Twisted Pride and I was so fucking excited. So fucking excited to revisit the outfit and dive into this relationship and this arranged marriage. I'm just gonna say now, I was thoroughly disappointed. There is mixed reviews. A lot of people really liked it and a lot of people didn't like it. If you're someone that hasn't read anything from Cora, you probably will enjoy this just because you don't know what her other stories entail. For me, I've read the Kimura Chronicles and the Born in Blood Mafia Chronicles twice, all of the books twice. So I know the characters and the plots and everything like the back of my fucking hand. So going into this, I was bored because I knew what was going on. I already had read it before in other books. I want to talk about this book and my opinions on it, but there's gonna be spoilers. So if you just want to click on this video and see if it's worth reading, I would still say read it if you like Cora's books, or if you've never read a Mafia romance before, read this one. But it doesn't do Cora justice. It really doesn't. And I hate saying that because I don't like talking negative about authors online, especially like about their work. You know, blood, sweat and tears go into their books. If you don't want anything in the book to be spoiled, click off the video because the rest of this is going to be me whinging about the book. One of my biggest pet peeves of this book was the fact that majority of the book was placed at a time after Fina left her family. So majority of the first half of this book is Sophia as a child obsessing over her future husband and Danilo not giving her the attention that she wants, even though she is a fucking child and he's in his like 20s. I just felt like the book would have been better off if it was placed on their wedding day and it went from there instead of having majority of the book all about like Fina and when she left. And I just could not fucking stand the fact that Serafina and Remo were mentioned so many times. If you didn't read Twisted Pride and have no idea about Fina and Remo's relationship and how that came about, this book wouldn't make sense. There were so many things in there that I was like, you don't need to mention that. It just fucking really annoyed me that Fina was such a big part of this book. And I hated Sophia's obsession with her older sister. I understand why she was insecure. You know, her sister was known as the Ice Queen. She was mob royalty. Like, everyone, like, knew her. She was, like, the blonde, gorgeous, like, outfit princess. And then she fucking betrayed the outfit and joined the fucking Kimura and married their capo. Like, I understand why Sophia felt pressure to live up to her sister's standards, but it was so annoying and you could really see her age in this book, which I don't like. With other arranged marriage romances that I've read, I've never had that issue, whether the woman was 18 and the man was 35. Like, I've never felt like there was, you know, immaturity within their relationship and with the younger heroine, where I did with this, and it fucking shitted me. It really did. She was so immature. There's a scene in the book where she goes and dyes her hair blonde to look like her sister. I get really bad secondhand embarrassment when I read books and watch movies, and I skipped past that bit because I wanted to gag. Like, I was cringing, bitch. I was like, no, this is not cute. Hun, this is not cute. You did not just go and dye your hair blonde to look like your sister because you think Danilo is still in love with her, when in fact he never really was in love with her. He was just hurt and his ego was shot down. Like, that's all it was. His pride was fucking shattered, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Fina was meant to be his, and then Fina got taken from him, and then Fina rejected him, and he's like an underboss, you know? There was just so many things that happened that I was just like, are you fucking serious, hun? Like, are you actually serious? Like, why did you write that, Cora? I don't like it. When they had sex, she dressed up in a fucking wig, a blonde wig. Because again, she thought that Danilo was fucking obsessed with blondes because he'd always been seen in the press with blondes. So she dresses up in a blonde wig and shit and tries to seduce him, which she is successful at. And then when he tries to fuck her, not realizing who it is, he's really dominant and aggressive with her. And when he realizes it's her and stops and takes care of her, she's like so hurt and so broken that he treated her like that. And I'm just like, there's your maturity level again. Because, yeah, obviously it wasn't a good experience for your first time, you dumb bitch. But you shouldn't have put yourself in that position. You're a fucking child. And I couldn't believe that she like made Danilo feel so guilty when it's like he didn't know who you were. And if he knew who you were, he wouldn't have treated you like that. He was just out for a quick fuck, you know. Just wanted to bang someone up against a tree. He wasn't trying to make love or anything, sweetheart. And that's another thing that really pissed me off with the book. Like her whole like, I don't know, she had this whole like thing in her head that, you know, her marriage with this man was going to be like this fairy tale and she was going to live like this happily ever after. And it's like, honey, it's the mafia. You are a mob princess. How did you think that like fairy tales work in that world? Like your future husband is an underboss who skins people alive and shit. Like kills for a living. Like kills someone and doesn't even bat an eyelid. How do you think a fairy tale relationship is going to come out of that world? Like you were delusional on another fucking level. I also got more enjoyment out of reading about the other characters like Anna and Leonis and Emma and Samuel. Like I wanted more about them. And even when like Fina and Remo appeared in the book, I wanted more. I was like, I want more of Fina and Remo. I just did not give a fuck about Sophia and Danilo. Like I really didn't. And also like Danilo as a character, all the previews to this book, like the sneak peeks and stuff, made him sound like he was going to be like this brutal mafia mob dude. Like he was like, you know, the underboss of Minneapolis. And he was going to be like this fucking, is that where it is? Minneapolis? I don't even fucking know. And, you know, he was going to be like this fucking dominant, like, mafia boss. And he was like, not at all. It was just all off, okay? It was just all off. It wasn't right. It just wasn't right. I started really enjoying the book at 70%. After they got married and then their relationship started like growing and they were getting to know one another. The attraction between one another was reciprocated and you know, there was like some steamy scenes, there was some chemistry. That's when I started really enjoying it. And I was like, fuck, I wish Cora wrote the marriage, them getting married at the start of the book. Fuck the past, you know what I mean? I didn't care about her being an immature little bitch who cried all the time because she felt like she was living in her sister's shadows and was obsessed with this dude who she was going to marry in the future who didn't give her a bar of fucking soap. You know what I mean? Like, I just, I'm really annoyed. And then as their relationship develops, you know, if Cora still wanted to keep that, you know, Sophia was insecure and like kept competing with her sister and comparing herself to her sister, she could have dropped that in the story after they got married, not based the whole book around that because it was just repetitive as fuck and just really annoying. And I hate all these like virgin crybaby women. I'm sorry, in all these romances, especially Mafia. Like, I'm so sick of the whole, I'm a virgin, I'm gonna lose my virginity on my wedding night. He scares me and I'm shaking. Like, I'm so sick of that plot. Like, that line that everyone uses. Everyone uses that. Not just Cora, but everyone. And I'm like, create something different when it comes to the Mafia, okay? We've heard it all before. We've heard it all before. We need something new. You know, with the other books, you know, Remo, Fina, Nino, Chiara, Luca, Aria, Matteo and Gianna, like throughout all her Mafia romances, you can feel You can feel the connection when you read, right? You can feel the connection, you're into it, there's chemistry, there's so much character development, and you really, like, you're in it, you know? I didn't feel that with this couple. I really didn't. It was lacking emotion and like deep connection. And when he said, I love you, I was like, I couldn't take it seriously. It's not a bad book, okay? It's not a bad book. It's just, when you've been looking forward to a book for fucking months and your heart rate spikes when it gets released and you read it and it's nothing like what you thought it was going to be, it's really disheartening. And I feel bad because I love Cora's writing and I love her books, but this just did not tick the box for me in any fucking way, okay, in any way. And I just feel like it could have been so much better. She's done standalones before with characters who were not featured in The Born in Blood or The Kimura Chronicles, but characters from those two series were mentioned in the standalone and it worked. Like Sweet Temptation, for instance, that worked. Like, that was the first book I read from Cora, and then I went into the series. The sneak peeks and stuff to this book were amazing. They looked like they were going to be real steamy, and I feel like, you know, they weren't. After I read Fragile Longing, it made me really, really excited for the last installment of the Kimura Chronicles, so Twisted Cravings. I'm pretty sure it should be coming out at the start of next year. It was meant to be December, but I don't think she's going to be able to do December anymore because Cora's pregnant and she's having a baby. And also because this book mentions the younger generation, and if you didn't know, Cora's already planned the release and the plots and stuff for the next generation, which is the children of the Kimura Chronicles and the Born in Blood. And a lot of those kids were mentioned in Fragile Longing, and it's just made me really fucking excited for the next spin-off series to be created and released. I just wish this was done differently, honestly. I just really wish that I didn't start loving it. It's 75% in. Like, majority of the book, I was just wanting to bang my head up against the wall, and I was like, this needs to be better. You can do better. Like this, it's not that her writing's bad, right? It's not that her writing is bad. It's just the character, Sophia. I've never come across a character like this in my entire life that I despise. Like, I despise this woman, this child. She was a fucking child. And I just couldn't deal with her. Anyway, I needed to rant about it because I just needed to fucking rant about it. Let me know in the comments below if you've read Fragile Longing and your opinions on it, because I was bummed the fuck out. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys really did enjoy it. If you did, you know what to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. It honestly means the world to me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!